Alright, Shalom, giving all praises and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Chakdash, the honors, the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, great millstone, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Asherah, Shalom. Alright, this is gonna be real quick. We're gonna play this video first, and then we're gonna read something from the chat. But this is talking about the what's known as the Pax Silica, okay, which is a summit, okay. Pax, meaning peace. Silica is actually going into, well, I think it'll break that down to us later. But we're going to start off by playing this video, and you just listening to this video. It's 5 minutes long, but we'll listen to this video and then we'll get what we want. Just in and out. All right, something quick.
In the era of alliances forming and breaking, United States has unveiled a new technology alliance. It's called the Pax Silica, and the US has termed it the new security paradigm. The question that's being asked is, can this be Washington's game changer against China? Well, the US says it could redefine economic security in the age of artificial intelligence. But will it really shift the balance of power when the future is becoming technology dependent? And more importantly, will this alliance be expanded further? Let's break it down for you. Pax Silica is referred to as the world's first AI economy grouping. According to its own official release, the US sees it as a new economic security paradigm. A partnership designed to secure everything needed for advanced technology. Critical minerals, energy, semiconductors, artificial intelligence infrastructure, and the supply chains that connect them. Now, in simple terms, Washington wants a tech ecosystem that does not depend on China. Remember, China already controls nearly 70% of global rare earth mining, giving it huge leverage in tech, green energy, and defense sectors. Similarly, in terms of artificial intelligence, Beijing is aiming for global AI leadership by 2030. China dominates global silica production, accounting for over 70%, far exceeding Russia as well as the United States, which produce significantly smaller amounts. Let's also talk about India. And here's where India stands in the global critical minerals race. At the moment, Pax Silica excludes India. Now, this could be because Washington and New Delhi remain locked in trade negotiations.
And real quick, as you've seen the backdrop, it says Pax Silica securing the silicone. What it says? Let me go back real quick. Securing the silicone supply chain. Yeah.
Negotiation.
Which we'll briefly talk about in a second here.
Following US President Donald Trump's tariffs on Indian exports. In fact, later today, the inaugural summit will bring together the partners, including Japan, South Korea, Singapore, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, Israel, UAE, and Australia. Interestingly, Canada and the European Union, despite not being part of this alliance, will also be in attendance in this inaugural meeting of Pax Silica. No wonder questions are already being raised about India's glaring absence from this summit. Incidentally, United States, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea also have an alliance for cooperation on semiconductors. But Taiwan, the hub of semiconductor manufacturing, is not a part of the Pax Silica alliance. You see, the alliance currently has states that the US claims host the most important companies and investors, powering the global AI supply chain. And what's their combined goal?
Hold up, let it go back.
The global AI supply. Most important companies and investors, powering the global AI supply chain.
All right, powering the global AI supply chain. All right.
And what's their combined goal? Well, it is to build a trusted network that can protect the materials and capabilities powering the AI revolution.
See, and when we go into the Pax Silica it'll really go into all those things unless she goes into it.
The United States is framing Pax Silica as a new model for economic security. According to the US State Department's official release, securing supply chains, reliable technology, and resilient infrastructure are now essentials for national power and economic growth.
The 8 countries part of Pax Silica.
This initiative also responds to growing concerns about coercive practices. In fact, in global trade and the rising need to safeguard sensitive technologies. At its core, Pax Silica acknowledges a key point. AI is reorganizing the global economy.
Yeah, because that's Esau's new age, all right? The age of AI and robotics, digital age, a digital system, digital infrastructure being laid, all right? You're going to have digital banks, digital money, and then to some degree digitizing people by microchipping them, all right?
Economic value will increasingly move through every layer of the AI supply chain, from minerals dug out of the ground to the chips being manufactured and the supercomputers running foundation models. As a result of this alliance, the countries will work together across software, AI models, semiconductors, manufacturing, minerals, logistics, as well as energy. They will also work together to protect their critical tech from what the US considers, quote unquote, countries of concern. The Pax Silica Declaration is expected to be signed later today. But the big question is Pax Silica the coalition that could challenge Chinese dominance in minerals, silicon, and computing power? And most importantly, will more countries join it?
All right, so yeah, so you saw those little headlines that kept coming up where it says China controls 70%. Okay, so U.S. is trying to combat that because they see this as a competition. All right, a race to AI or whatever. But going over here to the Pax Silica, all right, as we mentioned, Pax means peace, and silica is going into the chemical that they need to create AI technology. I think it goes into that all down here. So launched in December 2025, 2025. All right. So that's that just happened. All right. Launched in December 2025. Pax Silica is a U.S.-led strategic initiative designed to secure a global silicon supply chain and establish a new economic order for the age of artificial intelligence. You see, because this is what they're moving towards. All right, this is Esau's new age. All right, that enterprise. All right, that's a digital world. Okay, where he's gonna make himself God, supposedly, allegedly. Right. So, and that's why we pointed out the backdrop. All right, supplying the silicon supply chain, something like that. All right. So because the silicon supply chain, as it was mentioned, China has about 70% of it, or produces more. I think it said China produces more, all right, than U.S. And that silicon is something that's used to power artificial intelligence. Right. It says the name combines. Oh, here it is, right here. Yeah, the name combines the Latin word pax, which means peace, and stability. Okay, with peace and stability. All right, Pax Silica. Okay, and I spoke about this at camp because Pax meaning peace, but we spoke about briefly. We didn't go into it, but the topic of Pax Romana, which was what the height of Roman peace. Okay, I remember I first learned about that from El Ariala. I was like, oh wow, because when you learn certain things in history, it's like it just history paired together with the scriptures. Certain things just kind of it just brings everything out more. But yeah, so the Pax Romana was the height of the Roman Empire, that with the time period of Roman peace, that super dominance over the earth. Okay, so it's very interesting how they named this Pax Silica because they're racing towards AI, but it's really all centered around, or well, not all, but this particular thing here is talking about what it needs to, to build and power and stuff like that. So it says the name combines the Latin word Pax, meaning peace, and stability with silica. All right, the compound refined into silicon, which is the foundational element for AI enabling what? Computer chips. See? Because this is the race, all right? Which we know China's ahead of a lot of things right now. Because we talked about that going into their we did a couple talks about it, but the Belts and Road Initiative, which stemmed from that, led to talking about the Silk Road, and they were building the new digital Silk Road, and also I forget what the thing is called, the Arctic something, but about them trying to build a route in the Arctic waters, which cuts out being stopped and governed by America, because that route through the Arctic is in Russian waters, so no one can really dispute them. There's less stops and less hiccups and so on and so forth. All right, so China's really ahead of the game from their computer intelligence, with AI, with all this stuff, the surveillance that you see going on in China, the system we talked about, the where they have the social credit score system in play, and they have it where you have to scan it to QR codes every time you're going somewhere, because it's really tracking you. That's all it's doing. Okay, I guess just in case the cameras don't catch you, the QR code definitely keeps track of everything that you're doing and what location you're doing it at. So what store you're going to and what you're purchasing in that store, probably how long you're in that store, and you pay for your items using your phone by way of the apps that you have to have. You have to have, not a choice, but you have to have the apps pay for things, because it's connected to your social credit score, which we know all that is connected to what the government is monitoring you. Also, you can pay for things using facial recognition. The chick did that, paying for a bottle of water in a drink machine by scanning her face. Okay, so let's read this again. The name combines. That's why I brought up the Pax Romana, height of Roman peace. Okay, peace and stability for the Roman Empire, and we know America is the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. So it combines the Latin word pax, peace and stability, with silica, the compound refined into silicon, which is the foundational element for AI enabling computer chips. And if you remember in the opening, that's why you saw that little liquid metal looking stuff, right? I don't know if you remember or not. So, core objectives. The initiative serves as a framework for cooperation among trusted partners to achieve several key security and economic goals. Supply chain security, building a resilient supply chain for semiconductors, critical minerals, and energy inputs. Reducing dependencies, minimizing coercive dependencies on hostile actors, specifically aiming to counter China's dominance in rare earthly minerals and AI infrastructure. And the main one they were talking about is what? The silicon, because it's a major thing needed to produce. Technological protection, safeguarding sensitive technologies and critical infrastructure from undue access or control by countries of concern. Yeah, whatever. Joint investment, promoting strategic co-investments and joint ventures in advanced manufacturing data centers, and fiber optic networks. All right. And I think they said, here it is right here. Member countries. Here it is right here. I don't have to try to remember. The inaugural Pax Silica Summit was held in Washington, D.C. on December 12th, 2025, with the following participants and signatories. All right. So, as brothers been talking about, this thing is moving fast, because what does it say in the Revelation, man? The devil had a short amount of time. So he's going to come down with great wrath. All right. But the key thing I want to point out there is he has a short amount of time. So it really is the Lord that's moving them. Okay. Because the scriptures talk about how he's going to shorten the time for the elect's sake, or no flesh will be saved. So it's really the Lord speeding these people up, these devils up. Okay. And also to counter that with, I think it's in the book of Job, it says that his hands are not going to perform his enterprise. All right. When he's about to fill his belly, all those different scriptures like that. All right. So, Esau is, all right. Esau is right in tune. Okay. So, of course, the United States leader, the Pax Silica Summit, okay, Pax Romana, Pax Silica, you tying it in together. All right. So it says United States leader, Australia, Israel, of course, Israel, right? Japan, Netherlands, Singapore, South Korea, UAE, United Kingdom. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yeah, it is 8. But I guess America's not considered as one. Let me recount, make sure I count it right. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 8. So that's 9, really, because the United States is leader. So I guess it was speaking about 8 other countries, so 9 in total, with the United States as the leader. But really, when you stand back and look at the puzzle pieces, all right, they're both doing, both sides are doing the same thing, aiming towards a digital society, man. All right, because the bankers are behind it. Notable guest contributors or observers mentioned include Canada, the European Union, Taiwan, and the OECD. India was, I don't know what the OECD is. India was notably absent from the initial group of signatories, though additional partners are expected to join in the future. Now, I'm not sure about India either, because I saw a news clip that said, one said that no, India wasn't there, then another one says that India was there. So, you know how that is with that. Strategic focus. The partnership addresses the entire AI tech stack, which includes upstream, all right, minerals, refining and processing. Example given: rare earths. What's the main rare earth they need right now? That's silicon. Okay, midstream, semiconductor design, fabrication and packaging, and that's, whatever. Downstream, high-end manufacturing, energy grids for, there you go, energy grids for data centers and logistics. Okay, so, and there's some other questions that the chat poses. Those are good questions, but I don't think there's anything else we want to you know add to this. All right, the Pax Silica is straightforward. It says what it says. Okay, it's a race to artificial intelligence. By, there you go, right there. Silicon supply chain, a major, chemical element used to, right here where it says, which is the foundational element for AI enabling computer chips. Okay. As a matter of fact, I wonder what pops up. We'll just copy that real quick if we can and paste it. We'll close it off from there. In 2025, AI enabling computer chips, commonly called AI chips, are specialized microchips designed to efficiently handle the massive data sets and complex computations required by artificial intelligence. See, so because it's not like a human brain, all right? It's just technology. It's like a car. A car may be nice, okay, but a car also breaks down, all right? Any kind of machinery, it may work efficiently, but a machine breaks down, okay? So that's they're this stuff that they're building, all right? It's not a creation of the Lord, okay? At least on the right, it is, through the Lord, because He gave it to them on the left hand side. But I'm saying it's not through the right hand side. So these things require so much. They require these data centers that suck up all this, power, energy, and water, and all this, kind of craziness. All right, people are complaining about it. So it says, such as machine learning and deep, machine learning, okay, and deep learning, because these things are supposedly, right, get smarter on their own, right. Unlike general purpose central processing units or CPUs, these chips are optimized for massive parallelism, allowing them to perform thousands of or millions of calculations simultaneously rather than sequentially. All right, in the regular, the way computers calculate and function. In other words, okay, basically they're making it think more like a human brain. In other words, rather than the normal sequential computer type of way. All right. Key types of AI enabling chips: graphics processing units. I'm only trying to read what we need to read. What's this? Neural processing units. Okay, neural processing units, NPUs, specialized accelerators optimized for neural network operations. They are increasingly integrated into mobile devices and AI PCs to enable on-device features like facial recognition and voice assistance with minimal power consumption. Right? Field programmable gate arrays. Someone to try to read what we need to read. Blackwell Ultra. NVIDIA is some talk about NVIDIA been coming up as of late. Taiwan. So yeah, pretty much. Let's just read this here. Oh, this leads us back to Pax Silica. Strategic importance. By the end of 2025, AI chips are expected to account for roughly 20% of the global semiconductor market. Their production is central to national security and global economic strategies, as seen in initiatives like Pax Silica, which aims to secure the silicon supply chain for the AI era. That says enough, all right? Because we know what they're trying to do. It's all about powering those microchips and these, this whole digital system, this digital age, right? That they're trying to bring forth, all right? So yeah, that was it. We're gonna leave it at that. Something about the quick hit about the Pax Silica. All right, that's the end of the AI chat. Oh, as we always get, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, ignorant means to not know. And we already talked about the devices, so we're going to leave it at that. Lord willing, you edify to next time. I'm going to say shalom.